Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Ryan Files. It is the 11th of October. Think about that, man. It is passing by so fast. And you can't see her, but she's right below the screen level. Oh, there she is. Finn is joining us. God bless her. She is into everything tonight. I cannot control her. And Blue is over here. That's the problem. You've got this thing going on. So, anyways, so a little different background. Finn, come here, baby. Come on down here. And this is the lighting's not right yet. I'm gonna get it right. I actually need right there, right where I'm pointing. There needs to be a key light. I've got some lights up here, but this behind me, this is a television screen. And you can look, actually, if you look like right in that area, see that dark spot? That's actually the monitor out there that I'm watching of this reflecting off the TV screen. So if I don't have that on, you won't see anything. But it's really cool. What's really cool is, and I mean, these are just options that we're going to be able to have down the road. So, like, I was just playing around with some backgrounds, and you can see when it's dark like that, you can see, yeah, so you can see that's the monitor I'm looking at way out there. But, hold on here. Just some different backgrounds. This is a fun one. But, yeah, I really like this one right here. So, and the reason why I did this was I wanted to change up the background for year 2 of the Ryan Files. And just got a wild hair. And rather than waiting, I knew that I was going to have to make some adjustments. And so the studio is totally different. And I've got to move everything around. I did talk about making a new desk. So anyways, yeah, there's going to be some massive changes coming over the next couple weeks, which is great. And just going to put us in a better position to probably be able to do things better and more efficiently in the future. Yeah, so anyways, but this is what I decided to go with initially. Just, it's fine. So anyways, let's look at some of your comments. Yeah, this, and what's cool about this is this doesn't have to be the background. It doesn't. It can be anything you want. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Finn, if this was Finn's podcast, we'd have over 1,000 subscribers by now. I appreciate you liking the background, though. Been a hard 2 weeks, but very rewarding. Hope you're doing well, Lori. Faye, Margaret, watching Barry Manilow out there. Ann, how you doing? Julie, awesome. So, anyways, Fred, how you doing, buddy? We gotta get in touch, man. This is what it's gonna be. and just the integration. And I know the lighting's a little funky right now, but it'll get better. So just trust me on that. And basically, that is kind of what's going on. I am attempting to update the studio, and part of the reason was you saw the times that Finn was clawing her way up the. Oh, you're doing the hurricane relief. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that Stan's been hospitalized. I'm glad that you're doing the hurricane relief work. We're going to talk about that in a second. Heather, I probably did not get your email, and I will get it here very shortly. Prayers absolutely to the folks in the Carolinas and Tennessee for the hurricane, and we'll get to that in a second. So that curtain, it's really awesome, man. Really heavy duty. They're about $400. And I just said, you know what? I wanted to change the background for year two. I wanted a few more options, including green screen and blue screen and all that. What's the best thing you can do? This. So I got it's 86-inch LG TV under $1,000, which is good. So we'll be able to do a little bit more maybe and help brand everything a little bit better. And then also the cats can't climb on it. And you would think that Finn is the culprit, but it's really not. It's actually Blue. Blue is the culprit who probably learned what to do from Finn, but Blue is the culprit who has torn up the screen pretty bad. So, yep. It's so funny because it covered this back wall behind me. And there's a couple plug-ins in the wall that I'm utilizing, and Blue would just figure out a way to unplug everything, which is scary too, and a little probably a little bit dangerous. But she would unplug stuff all the time, and then you're left with having to figure out a way because you couldn't get under. It's crazy. So yeah, a lot of good things going on. Sending you really good pictures for Saturday night. Did you get them? Nope, I have not. I have been kind of in a mode, you might say, of deep research and checking out some stuff. So this week's episode coming up. Initially, last week we talked about Helene and the damage and whatnot, and I know that Lori is talking about that as well. Hey Blake, good to see you too, man. Blake has got this awesome shirt. Oh, dude, you don't have to thank me for being nice to you. You're a cool dude. Blake came in, watched Legends today. I think he said, Blake, you said it was your 10th year, right? 10th year of doing the Branson Elvis Festival. Is that correct? Anyways, Blake shows up in this freaking awesome Elvis shirt, man. And Blake's cool. And he just comes around, and I appreciate you, man. Blake's awesome. Anyways, it's fun whenever somebody like Blake shows up and like you know them, and they're in the front row, and it kind of makes you like, not nervous. It's just like I want to like say, hey, how you doing? But I can't because there's a whole audience. It's fun. Anyways, so yeah, this week's episode is interesting, man. I have been working quite a bit. And I shared some last week about some of my family through Amy, who is dealing with this aftermath of Hurricane Helene in the Carolinas. West Carolina, Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee. It just got smashed. And I don't know. Here's the thing, and this is what I want to know. The conspiracy stuff that you hear all the time, and these debates that happen all the time on TV, you know, where you've got maybe a president who says something to the effect of specifically, "We don't control the weather. That's so stupid. We need to stop this." That's a lie. Sorry. I mean, it's just not true. Um, and I hate saying that because that's it's not it's not a shot at anyone. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just not true. It just it's just not true. By a government that has already shown and demonstrated and admitted that we do have control over the weather. Um, and that has nothing to do, parse that, that has nothing to do with Helene, although it's being thrown into the mix of stuff about Helene. So, oh, yes, yeah, John, and yeah, dozens of weather control patents, not just control, but steering systems. And there's just, and so this week's episode is kind of specifically going to be about that aspect of things and not going to even mention Helene because I don't want the two to be conflated. I don't want them to be associated. They might, they I don't know. They could be that. I don't know. I'm not saying that they are. Yeah, harp is a big part of it, Monica, but there's other things as well. We will talk quite a bit about harp, no doubt about it. And for those of you who don't know what harp is, tune in on Tuesday because it's interesting. And everything's kind of coming together in this nexus of like multiple different things happening at the same time from solar maximum to harp, the statements by the Air Force 2025, all these different things. So I don't want to ruin it, but we're going to get into all that. And then now I'm collecting data, trying to get it involved with some boots on the ground people, family, friends, and others that are actually in this ridiculous situation as a result of Hurricane Helene. And I don't want it to be a political thing, and I don't want it to be a conspiracy thing. I want to just tell the story of what's really happening. And I didn't want to connect the two because I didn't want to pull attention from the reality of what's happening in Western North Carolina, Western Carolina, and Eastern Tennessee, and just tell the story. And I think it's compelling. But and I'm sorry, man, I'm just built that way. I just can't have. It's like one of those things. When someone lies about something, it makes it more difficult to believe the next thing they say. And so we've got a situation where there's things being said that I use this example. Think about this. I can tell you, hey, the sky is blue. All right? And you know what I mean when I say the sky is blue. The sky is blue. You go outside, you look up, it's blue. But what about at night? Is the sky blue at night? No, it's not. You might say, hey, the sky is black. And guess what? That would be true. And so we run into a situation where you could say the sky is blue or the sky is black, and both are true. And yet, neither one of them is the totality of the truth. Because you could also say the sky is yellow or orange or red during twilight or, sunrise, sunset. You could say it's gray when it's stormy out, and you can't see the blue sky at all. And it's about perspective. Imagine if you could walk fast enough and you were always walking so that you were always in the sun on the spinning round earth, and that you never saw what night was. You would swear up and down, hey, the sky's either blue, gray, or whatever, but it's certainly not black. Even during an eclipse, you would say it's certainly not black. Well, guess what? You would be right and you would be wrong. And it's based upon your perspective. So I say all that to illustrate this point. When government officials, business leaders, teachers, professors, people in places of authority make statements that are empirical, that are telling a truth, but not the whole truth, but they're demonstrating that this is the only truth, that is a form of dishonesty. If you stand in front of people and say, listen, man, the sky is blue, and if you say anything other than that, you know what? You're wrong. We got to stop this. The sky is blue. And it is blue. But it's also other things. And that's the problem that we run into, especially, I think, in politics today and the division that we find in our country about a lot of things that, for whatever reason, are divided down a political line. Almost on purpose, you might say, to keep people divided. When we don't have the grace to say, you know what? I understand this is the truth, at least from a certain perspective. But in understanding that, I also realize that this is the truth as well. Like I said, the sky can be blue and the sky can be black. And both are true. But they don't tell the entire truth. And so I think when you see bold statements made about certain things, especially from government leaders and again, teachers and academia, they're not telling the whole story. They're propping up this fact and ignoring everything else, which does not mean that this is the only truth, but it'll be presented as that. And not only will it be presented as that, it will be presented as that. And if you don't believe this part of the truth, it's a conspiracy or it's false or, whatever. I mean, if someone's pushing, hey, the sky is blue, I can't argue that that's true because it is. But if I'm saying, hey, but it's black, and people are saying, no, you're wrong, guess what? I'm not. That's where you get into the difference between conspiracy theory and conspiracy fact. Very important. Very important thing to think about as we go through life, as we listen to what we're being told in news and, by people in places of power. And that's why I always say, stay curious. Stay curious. Why? Because sometimes people will tell you things because it supports their own agenda, whatever that is. And we all have done it. We have all done it. We have all done it. Even we learn this as young kids even, I'm going to drop a hint about, hey, I played football today at school. It was really cool. I love football right before Christmas because I want a football. We do it all the time. So anyway, something to think about. And I know we got a little crazy and deep tonight, but those are things to think about as we move forward with episode 51. Ironically, 950 subscribers. We just need 50 more. And that's going to open the floodgates, I believe. So I appreciate you all. I look forward to figuring out a way. I'm not promising you that this week's episode is going to be lit. Great. I don't know. I think I got to record it probably tomorrow, and I am not done even writing it, so I think it'll be interesting to see how it's lit. But we'll try to. We'll get it done. So that's about it, man. I appreciate you guys so much. It's Friday night. I know it's like summer, and we're getting into football season, and there's a lot going on with that. But man, throughout this year, you guys have been great. I know there's probably a better viewing audience in the winter just because there's not as many things going on. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Continue, please continue to get the word out. But if you ever wanted to wonder, if you ever had thoughts about just the reality, I'm just presenting facts, what people have said, and what we've done. If you ever want the truth and reality about weather manipulation, then tune in on Tuesday. Not just the United States either. There's multiple countries all around the world who are doing things and making statements about what they are doing. And so, and I think that the reality is, if you think that the United States is behind in certain things that could be used as weapons or whatever, then you're probably not aware of the mentality of those people who are in places of power. So anyways, yeah, tune in, and yeah, we'll talk about it. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I am going to try an awesome recipe that was provided by Clint Navarre from the Clint Documents, if you recall. Yeah. John Jeffers, read 1984 for a good primer on what our country is about to become. Amen, brother. Crazy. Yeah. We'll talk to you, Lori. Appreciate that about, relief. It's not just about them, it's about everyone. So, yeah. And thank you, Julie. I know Julie came to the show last week. She ordered some stuff. Thank you so much, Julie. That's awesome. Yeah, Sarah, if you've read it, you know what it's about. Anyway, yeah, Clint, I know this sounds terrible, and it probably will be. And I can't wait to have my next dentist appointment because I feel like I could eat anything, but I don't want to rush it. So he shared this recipe for ramen noodle lasagna. And I can eat ramen noodles, and everything else in the recipe I can eat. So I'm going to try it, and who knows what it's going to turn out to be, but that's it. Anyways. All right. Love you guys. Have a good night. Tuesday, tune in to the Ryan Files. We've got a great episode about weather control and things the government says and past history and directed energy weapons and HARP and all kinds of stuff. So tune in. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you on Tuesday night. Tell your friends, man. Let's get to 50 more people, and it'll be awesome. Cheers.